Welcome everybody to another action-packed Sunday. I am your host Kev with the co-host J-Mac here on the Jibber Jabber Podcast, and tonight we will be speaking and reviewing about the class wee 80s smashing wee film that's set in the 80s called Lisa Frankenstein. We are on a wee bit later than usual by a whole 5 minutes. Technology in its finest. If anybody would like to send me a new PC, it's getting to that point. There shouldn't be any issues tonight, though. I think that's it done now. So, aye, J-Mac, Lisa Frankenstein. I'm loving it. Every week now, we seem to be reviewing something new, something that we not necessarily something that we would always go for, which is good. Challenges us to watch other things. I even said that to a lot of the distributors when we get the choice. You know, what films would you like? I always say, well, we prefer these ones. However, the ones that are there, or the ones you like to give us, is, you know, advantageous because it gives us a chance to watch things we never would. So this week's smasher is Lisa Frankenstein, which is something I was going to watch. It's something I brought into the cinema. J-Mac, you're... In fact, I'll ask you this. What was your first initial thoughts when I said, yeah, we're going to tackle this Lisa Frankenstein thing?
Well, I'd actually heard it already because it had a cinema release, and pretty recently as well. It's only within the last couple of months, I think. So yeah, it was. My first reaction was, Jesus, something's in the cinema. I mean, we have done a few that went to certainly select theatres. One of them being Bathgate Cinema that did Mobland.
Yes, that was the only place, and probably the only place in the UK that done it. And the only reason I'd done that, do you know what's funny, is the only reason I brought that in was because we watched it.
Yeah,
you know that, like no other place was playing it. But I was like, do you know what, this deserves it. This deserves it. So it went straight into Screen 3.
It did all right as well, didn't it?
Done all right. In regards to like, so because it was never a mainstream feature, like purely based off of the attraction that we are as Bathgate Cinema, people that were coming to the cinema went, "What's this?" and gave us a chance to talk about it, and it done fairly good.
At which point you just spoilt the whole film and they went and seen it anyway.
Well, nah. To be honest, there's not much to spoil there, and is a spoiler really a spoiler? I know. Right, just have it out with me, J-Man.
Yes,
just have it out with me. Before we get into the crux of what this film's all about, earlier on, Matthewman in the group chat was talking about watching this. He's like, "Is it any good?" And usually, when Matthewman asks me if something's any good, I'll say yes or no. If I say yes, he usually then responds with, "Could I watch this with my children?" So I thought, do you know what? I'll cut out the middleman. We'll go straight to it. He said, "Is this any good?"
Cut out the middleman.
The wee willy man. That's it. This is Matthewman. It's really good. Give it a watch. Also, you can watch it with your daughters. All that happens because he's like, "Here, I don't mind folk getting cut arsehole to ear hole, but see if there's boobs, nah." Right. Right. So I said the only part in it that you need to watch out for is that a guy gets his dick cut off, but it's all right because it's done. You don't see it; it's a shadow. J-Mac responds because I'm forgetting that J-Mac's in the chat. He's like, "Class, so I've got that to look forward to." And at which point, in real life, I'm laughing out loud, going,
Sorry, I know you'd be laughing your fucking head off. Not that head.
Well, neither was the other guy.
But I wouldn't say that was in fact, I would say it's a spoiler because it ended up being quite an important plot point.
Was it really? Was it?
Yeah, it was. But anyway, we won't talk any further about it because I don't want to ever be accused of spoiling films for people. And we want people to watch this, don't we?
I do. And by the way, just so you know what you're in for, here's right. So there's the trailer. I don't know. So
the trailer gave me more than you did, man.
Most trailers do. You know, we've got a pet peeve on that. This film was written by Diablo Cody. What a name. Diablo.
Yeah, most likely not her birth name.
You reckon?
Yeah. I mean, Diablo literally means devil. I doubt that it's her birth name. If it is, she had pretty fucked up parents.
Diablo, imagine that, eh?
Yeah.
Tonight I got a date with Diablo. So she made this. She wrote this, and so in her IMDb picture, she has very short hair. But if you watch the special features, she's got better hair than that.
It's a very objective thing, or subjective. Sorry, it's like you either like short hair in women or you don't. I mean, some folk like it, some folk don't. I
like
think
Cranberry's short.
Very, very much depends.
Like she's going to start going, ah!
In your hands, they are fighting.
Jenny says, okay.
Okay. You need to calm down and get back to your schoolwork, okay?
Drugs are bad. So she's...
mate, you just reminded me how funny that was. I'm here to talk to you about drugs and alcohol. Drugs are bad, okay? Alcohol's bad, okay? Okay, any questions?
End of story. So, Diablo. I'm going to call her Diablo, right?
Go for it.
She wrote Juno, and she also wrote Jennifer's Body. And this film is actually set in the same universe as Jennifer's Body.
Oh, I didn't know that. How did you find that out? Was it just in the trivia, or did you work something out?
No, it was in the trivia. And she talked about it, we Diablo. So it actually is. And I'm really a fan of that. See, even if I've never seen Jennifer's Body, which I've not, right? Because I thought it just looked a bit funky, but I'm going to go watch it because of this, right? So, but when something's in the same universe as something, I quite like that. I quite like the idea that more things can happen in the same place and that the characters could know of each other when they're different films. And I actually really like that. So that's something that's quite class, right?
Yeah, I like that.
Then we move out to the director, Zelda Williams. Are you familiar with Zelda?
All I know is the fact that she's Robin Williams' daughter.
And that's pretty much nothing. Matthewman says, good evening, fellas.
Oh,
hello.
Here we go. Matthewman's pished, by the way, so got some shit to look forward to.
I know. So Zelda so far has she's acted in a lot of things, and I think she's directed 11 different things. Jojo, Think About You, Jojo, Lonely Hearts. Nothing really as big as Lisa Frankenstein. And
I'll see what you did there.
What's your favorite Frankenstein movie?
I'll be honest, man. It's a bunch of films that I haven't really had much experience of. I remember seeing some of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein with Robert De Niro when I was. I seen some of it when I was too young to see it and never revisited it. There was that, and I suppose you could argue the monsters. I know he's not technically Frankenstein's monster, but he fucking looks like him.
True.
I remember Frankenstein being really silly but still good fun.
Still mate, if it says Frankenstein on the cover, it's a Frankenstein movie.
You need to watch it when you're Frankensteaming.
Mine is, of course, the fucking legendary Young Frankenstein.
Yes.
I actually love that film so much, and we should deep dive it at some point.
Well, actually, that would be fun because I've never seen it.
Oh, mate. There's a part.
Sorry.
Before we get right into it, right? There's a part where he's got a hunt. Martin Freeman's like that, right? And he's like,
"Is it Martin Freeman?"
No. Fucking what's his name? Marty Freeman. Marty, innit?
I can't remember the guy's name. I know who you're talking about though.
He's like this, right? And Gene Wilder says to him, he says, "What's with the hunch?" He's like, "What hunch?" And it changes through the film on what side.
That's like Prince John's mole in Robin Hood Men in Tights.
The thing is, the film is filled with so many great things. Like grab the bags, so he grabs one of the women. It's full of Mel Brooks geniusness.
Marty Feldman, by the way.
Marty Feldman. Why did I say Freeman? Marty Feldman. phenomenal. He was brilliant in it. Anyway, Janice says that's my favourite too, Kev. Janice, if that's your favourite, then that's the deep dive that we select for you. But we're still doing Gremlins, so a good few deep dives coming up. Matthew says, no seen this, but I've read the synopsis. Imagine if the roles were reversed and it was a guy bringing back a zombie babe so he could do a Mel Brooks evening. Oh, we so should.
Is it? That's not what this film is. That's no. I wouldn't say she's bringing him back. She doesn't bring him back to pump him. It just kind of.
She also doesn't know she's bringing him back. There's a few loopholes in here that didn't make sense to me, but we'll get to them. Right? We'll get to them. There's a few things I'm like, what? But we'll get to them. Janice says not much better than Gene Wilder. He was phenomenal. Enid Rhodes. So this was marketed, I think, it came out quite quick. So there wasn't really a big buzz about it, at least here in the UK. Agree, you, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, I seen some stuff about it, but it wasn't. Never seen a big billboard for it. Put it that way.
Oh, definitely not. So my initial expectation, because I know what films are like nowadays, so I was like, I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be like phenomenal. But I did think, well, if they're going to the 80s, Cole Sprouse is in it. This actually is intriguing. And then when I got the email saying, wanting Lisa Frankenstein, I was like, yeah, hell yeah. So I was quite looking forward to it. And the plot. So as Matthew had said there, he believes this to be I'm bringing somebody back. It's not really the case. She's a bit of an outsider, our wee character, Lisa. She's a bit of an outsider. And by the way, I know. The characters in this were actually very well, like you see usually. So Taffy character, right, played by Liza Soberano, right. The characters in this were a wee bit different. I actually quite liked the makeup of the characters, because usually in these kind of stereotypical films, the character, like the cheerleader's a bitch, right? But this cheerleader was the complete opposite of what an 80s cheerleader was.
Yeah. I mean, she had elements of a bitch, but it wasn't because she was trying to be a bitch. She was just no very aware of the stuff she was saying. Do you know what I mean? Like she wasn't deliberately going out her way to be an arsehole, which normally these cheerleader characters, especially in films like this and films from that era, the cheerleader was always just trying to be a bitch because that was the cool thing to do. She was popular, really pretty, but she was actually nice. Yeah, with a few exceptional moments, but she never meant it. She never meant to be horrible when she was. No, I like that.
Not at all. Yeah, which you don't usually see that dynamic in these type of films. Yeah. So I thought that's interesting, right? The dad, straight out of Stranger Things, he plays almost the same character, right? As he does.
It might as well be the same character. I'm pretty sure it's the same specs as well.
But mate, he was a letdown, and I don't know if that was deliberate, as in like. As what Zelda and Diablo are trying to achieve here, is to say that like dads in the 80s didn't give a fuck, that they were basically on standby for the whole, like, because this guy loses so much of his family, no spoilers, right? And he's just no arsed. So all right, I've done it now, let's go. Like, even the ending, I'm like, what the fuck is this guy's problem?
I'll just get me another new family.
It's
like his lawnmower broke down and he's like, oh, I need to get a new lawnmower.
I need to get a new lawnmower. No, it's just something else. Do you know what I mean? I thought his character was fucking shabby. I would have.
Well, it's kind of mentioned earlier that like after his wife dies, which isn't a spoiler by the way. That's like right at the start of the film. We find out that her mum, his wife, was killed by an axe murderer. It's like within 6 months, he's remarried.
Which, by the way, there's nothing about that. I hope we get another film, non-related, right? That's in the same universe, where the axe murderer kills her mum, right? Because we heard none. It's just, killed by an axe murderer. No backstory. We didn't know who the axe murderer was, right?
And we know for a fact he wasn't caught. So it was like, right. When's he coming back? Doesn't he?
Never. That I really liked, because that could come up at any point. You could watch another film, right? And then go, okay, that plays into that.
Another film in the same universe. Another film in the same universe. Totally. And you get that killer again.
And I hope that's the one
we've never seen again in Lisa Frankenstein.
I hope that's what happens, because it just wasn't touched upon. But I actually like that as well, because sometimes you watch a film and it's like the film can't end until every question has been answered, right? But in real life, sometimes you just didn't know who killed your dog. You didn't know who ran it there and fucking just took off. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's an unanswered question, and that was quite refreshing to have that, because the film wasn't factored and centered around this killing. It was just, this is what happened, and here's now my story. You know.
Aye.
So that was tactfully done. I enjoyed that element of it. Well, we'll just never know who fucking butchered her ma. On with the next. You know what I mean? I really enjoyed that part of it. You know, as much like I've got a couple gripes with this film, but at the same time, I've got to give it its due. You know, I can't just be like, oh, I have to be fair.
It's far from a perfect film, but it was actually pretty charming, and it does kind of hit that 80s nostalgia pretty well as well. See, that's another thing I was thinking about when I was watching it. I was like, oh man, I love the 80s. Wish I could go back to the 80s. I can barely remember the 80s, right? Because by the time the 80s finished, I was 5. Right, so I can barely remember. Sorry, I was 6. I can barely remember the 80s, but I feel like I'd love to go back there because I remember it so fondly. It's like, I'm not remembering the 80s. I'm remembering movies for the 80s.
Yeah.
That's what I'm remembering. It's nothing to do with the actual time and the stuff that we were doing at the time. It's just basically the pop culture of the time that I miss.
Totally. And I've always said this on the show as well. I was born in the 90s, but everything that happened in the 80s bled into the 90s. So I got a lot of that, you know, growing up. And then what happens in the 90s bleeds over into the 2000s. That's really how it works. Matthewman says, I'm off tomorrow, so I'll check this out on Prime, Amazon Prime. Good man. Make sure to check it out. Donna Pollock says, how are you guys doing tonight? Good, Donna. Thank you for tuning in tonight. It's lovely to have you as always. Matthewman, pretty much all the best music, the movies came from the 80s. And there's some of that in here as well, by the way. You're so right. There's some of that in here. We will get into how it looks, how it feels, right? But I do kind of, we were kind of talking about there about her mum got done in by an axe murderer. So the dad and Lisa then joined families with what's her name? Taffy's mum and Taffy. So it's like a wee blended family. And
be funny if that was her name in the credits, eh? It's like Gina Galano as Taffy's ma.
What is she even credited as? I don't think she is. What is she?
Nurse Ratched.
Nurse Ratched. I don't actually see her in the credits. What the hell? Oh, no. Aye. Janet. Janet's her name. That's Janet.
Janet's the name. Bitchin's the game.
Aye. And so here's the thing. Janet's obviously like that parent that just is like, everything has to be her way or no way. And that soon comes to a head in the film. And she's very horrible to Lisa. She's very much like, oh, my daughter Taffy. And she's happy. The reason it works with that guy is because he's so like laid back, he's sleeping, that she can boss him about. She can mold him into whatever she wants.
The image you've got of him is he's always just eating a sandwich. Like, regardless of what time of day it is, what's going on in the world.
While looking at a paper.
He's just like,
while reading a newspaper. Anything could be going on behind him.
What's his name? Hasbullah.
And the thing is, well, it's like anything could be going on around him. He would never know because he's too busy eating a sandwich and reading the newspaper. And that works perfectly for her. So I didn't understand, because we know this is Lisa Frankenstein. And I think the reason it's called that, because I was like, oh, is this a descendant from the Frankenstein family? Like in, Young Frankenstein. I thought, is this a genuine, like, ancestor of the Frank? But nah, it's more so that, Frankenstein created a monster, and so does Lisa. She creates essentially a monster. No understanding exactly how it works, because all she done was go up to a statue and be like, yo, I want you. Oh no, she says, I didn't want to be here. I'd like to be with you. Basically, I'd like to be dead. She says that to a statue. There's a dark and stormy night, and as you can see in the visual I created behind us, that pretty much happens with the lightning and all that stuff. And then out walks a zombie guy.
But that's 80s logic, man. That's all you need.
Aye. I suppose.
And that actually fits this film perfectly. I'm glad there wasn't more of an explanation as to why he came back to life. Like,
Aye.
if like most other films would go down the route of she is so obsessed with the idea of this person that she's all pretty much created in her head from this statue, this monument, this gravestone, she would scientifically work out how to bring him back to life and do it. There's none of that shite in this, and we don't need it. All we need is, oh, I wish I was with you, lightning. Oh, that's all we need.
Do you know, it's funny actually. Yeah, I don't know why I was so cynical in that part then. Because when you describe it like that, it
Normally
actually
it's the other way about. Normally you're trying to convince me that I know it's silly, man, but you just need to enjoy for what it is. That's exactly what this film is, from start to finish. By the way, very weird sciencey. Yeah.
And here's another thing which makes perfect sense as well. Every time he goes for a fucking sunbed, he gets more human. I love how I actually love as well. So Cole Sprouse only has like 5 lines in this at the end, right? So he spends the whole film going, right? And did you notice every time he comes at the sunbed, more elements of him become human again?
Yeah.
So he starts to smile and react. The way his body moves. It's easy to say, all right, it's very easy to play a guy that doesn't talk, no lines, night off. No, that guy had to communicate through his actions. And I think he really put the work in because you can see every time that that's the way of it. What's your favourite Cole and Dylan Sprouse film? Big Daddy?
Big Daddy, obviously.
Aye.
Obviously. I mean, I don't know anything else that they've done apart from that fucking
and by the way,
Cody
do you know what's funny? What's his name in Big Daddy?
Frankenstein.
Which is mad, eh? I watched a lot of Zack and Cody, not because my younger brother was of the age of watching that, so it was on all the time in my house. So I never sat down to watch it. It was always on in the background, so I'd always see it.
I wonder if the two of them played the guy in this.
No, it was only Cole.
I know, but like, he was sick one day, like, fuck it, get the other one. So we'll not put him in the credits, but we'll just get him a wee backhander.
You never know, eh? You never know, but
he does a decent job in this, man. What really kind of, I know he's quite heavily made up for most of the film, but what really struck me is how fucking young he still looks. He could actually be a teenager.
I know. He's our age at least.
He's about your age, aye.
Aye, because I was the same age as him when he was Frankenstein. That was my age.
Yeah.
Like, I was the same size as him when he was them.
You were doing the same stuff, pissing in plants in the fucking classroom and tripping up roller skaters, and I can see that being you, 100%.
Totally was me. I can relate. So he must be
Kev Sprouse.
He actually, I reckon he's maybe a year or two younger than me. I reckon I was maybe...
No, he's 31, I checked before I came on, because I was like, he still looks really young.
A year younger than me then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot longer than me.
And he's very dashing in this. Like,
dashing.
He brings a lot to this role without even opening his mouth. I will definitely say that, and I think Cole Sprouse...
Hey man, you're like Santa Claus in the snow. What do you mean? You're dashing through it.
But he's not. I think the Sprouse brothers, they should be in more, especially with the heartthrobby stuff. I think there's a real... What's the word I'm looking for? There is a real
shallow attraction.
No, a genuine. Well, they've got presence.
A draw. They've got a draw.
Aye, but there's a real.
Who the fuck is Kevin Wells to talk to me about my drawing power?
Who the fuck does Kevin Wells think he is? Oh, where is he? I don't even think I've no got that on this.
Man. It's all right, I've said it anyway.
Who the fuck does Kevin Wells think he is? Just shitting all over my drawing power. But by the way, believe it or not, right? Can I just take this moment to tell you something? I took Thursday there. I took Rosie, my wee daughter, to Burger King for lunch, right? To get a wee burger. Because we were just
makes sense.
Spend some time together, right? Get this. I'm sitting there talking to her, and a group of school kids walk by, and one walks up, right, and does this to me, and runs over to his pals, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" And they're like, "That's Big Kev!" Shit, you not. They must have went to that school. Kind of, they all tuned in.
Yeah. Oh, that's
They
right.
fucking somebody came up and took a photo of me. I was sitting there like Leonardo DiCaprio. Oh, come on, man. I'm just trying to eat with my kid.
Like, man, what the fuck? What are you doing?
I made a reference there to me being Leonardo DiCaprio. To be fair, there's probably the same age gap between me and Rosie to him and his missus if he was it for a burger. So I thought that was quite funny.
That's pretty funny.
That's quite funny. I was like, what the fuck, man? Taking photos of me, man. What the fuck? Aye. I was trying to figure out that word that I was looking for that describes Cole Sprouse. It's what's that word when someone wants you're very, what's the word? You know, like a woman wants it in a guy.
Eh?
A woman wants it in a guy. It's a quality that a woman
Money?
wants in a man. No, a quality. No, an asset.
Wally?
No, a quality.
Mine's this quality.
Satisfaction guaranteed.
Your satisfaction guaranteed within 16 years of your money back. I'm like, after 16 years of fun. See you later.
I just wish my head wasn't pickled at this time of night. The word I know is there, but anyway, we'll get to it. So he then start becoming human again, and she's very much like here. There's still a good portion of this where you're like, oh, they're kind of falling for each other, but she's still chasing that other dude. And I'm like, what? I think he loves her regardless.
Robert Furlong.
Aye. Robert Furlong.
Sorry, were you going to say something?
No, I was just waiting on you elaborating on the Robert Furlong.
Oh, sorry. Actually, that's a good point. That was just a wee joke that I sent to you. Not a joke, but the guy that plays her other love interest in the film, he looks like Robert Pattinson and Edward Furlong had a baby. Every one of their features is taken off one of these other two actors.
It's probably imagine it was just an AI guy. Eh? Imagine it was just an AI guy.
Aye. The thing is, one thing that's it was kind of bugging me through the film was like, oh, why are you interested in him? It's because he's a fucking hunk, man. He might be the editor of the school paper, but that's one sexy dude. What was funny when her sister was trying to explain to her what kind of man she could get. She's like, oh, you couldn't get a footballer, you couldn't get a basketball player, maybe get a basketball team manager, something like that. I was like, that was pretty funny. But I actually did laugh out loud within the first few minutes of the film, and it was such a great line. And she was saying, why do you fancy him? It's like, I mean, does he have a football body or a basketball body? She's like, he doesn't play sports, he's cerebral. She's like, oh my god, he's in a wheelchair. That was a great line.
Cerebral palsy.
That's when I knew I was going to enjoy it.
It is good in that sense. I feel there is, like, I don't know. I feel that there's a wee attempt there to. No. I'll see if you agree with me, right? Without me even saying it.
Well, it's going to be hard.
Did you feel any man bashing in this at all?
A wee bit, but I was kind of in agreement with a lot of it. Like, see, this whole image, it's like, never always trust the guy that helps you home when you're drunk.
Aye.
I like that. It's like, to the rest of the world, he looks like he's doing the right thing, but behind closed doors, he's just being a sneaky fucker.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the whole thing about, like, whenever he cried, it was stinking. Like, it's like she's like, oh my god, are you crying? It's fucking rotten. And I was like, is that a bit of the stigma about men letting their emotions out? I was thinking, is that maybe saying it's all right to cry?
Well, you know,
it's rotten.
I watched Zelda and Diablo talking about that, and it wasn't. She basically says, like, she was looking for ways to go, right, I need to find ways to make him seem like he's coming back from the dead. And what if when he cries, it's a honking? Because his tears would be like stinking soaking water.
Ah, man, I just gave you too much credit.
But to be fair, it would not surprise me. It would not surprise me. It was very much.
To suggest that a film made by women called Zelda and Diablo would be man-hating? Oh my god!
Yeah, let's talk a bit about the design of this film. How 80s did it look?
It was very Tim Burton-y at bits, and I like that.
Do you know, it had Beetlejuice vibes, definitely.
And Edward Scissorhands, like the colour of the house and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was like, there's some, there's definitely some Burton-esque stuff coming in here.
You know,
or is it Burtonian? Let's go with Burtonian.
Burtonian. We're going. Burtonian's phenomenal. You know, I don't think we see a lot of. How many films in the last 10 years have like existed where it's like reanimating a dead guy or a dead woman in any? You know, we don't get a lot of these type of ones, do we?
There was Warm Bodies. I never seen that one though.
Oh, mate, I said the last 10 years. I suppose that was 2013.
Oh, I missed it by a year. Fuck me.
Last
Sorry
10 years,
about
J-Mac.
Well, polish my nuts and serve me a milkshake.
What's funny is my wife actually likened this to Warm Bodies. She read the book and then watched the film. She says this is a lot like that.
Right. See, whenever you hear read the book and watch the film, you know it's going to be a teen thing. Eh? There's like a lot of like teen novels get made into films now, and a lot of stuff is substance. Real
Schindler's
substance.
List went into The
These
Exorcist.
days, I said, remember the Schindler's List was like fucking 30 years ago.
I'm sitting there with Ready Player 2, which will probably come out as a film.
All right.
Ready Player 1 film was all right if you didn't read the book. If you read the book,
I never read the book. I thought it was pish.
you'd love the book though. Very 80s. Very 80s.
We'll see.
We shall. I got a book recently, and it happens to be something it'll be very useful to this show. Slasher movies, Peter Normanton. I couldn't read it back to front. Peter Normanton, the 80.
Didn't think to read it before you lifted it, no?
No. The A to Z guide over 60 years of blood and guts. And all it is like an IMDb book full of all the best slashers over the last 60 years. So I'm going to make my way through that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Just as we're talking about books there. I mean, I always do try to get books that I really, really like, but those are for other episodes. Mate, it's got a pull out fucking poster and everything, man. Oh, man.
If we did a drinking game for you bringing Titanic up, we'd all be pissed.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I'd maybe drink my wee Titanic glass, I know, on that game.
So come back to the looks of this film.
I thought it looked excellent. I think they really put a lot of care into how it felt and how it looked. I know that Diablo had said that Lisa was brought to life and her character and the vision she had was all brought to life perfectly by wee Zelda. Zelda, man.
Aye.
Zelda Williams. I don't think...
There's something in the back of my mind telling me that she was actually named after the computer game character.
Probably.
Was it around back then, 1989?
Yep.
I might be completely wrong in that, but somebody verify that for me if you can.
It was. I've just verified it for you, you prick.
No, you said maybe. I think so.
No, I said it was.
No, you didn't. You
it
said
was around in 89.
No. The fact, like, was she named after Zelda? Because there's something in my mind telling me that she was. Let's see.
I've googled it. Princess Zelda from Legend of... Aye, she was. She was.
Boom.
Named after Zelda video game series. Her mother.
How many folk were naming their kids after video game characters in 1989?
Do you know Ken? This
is my son. This is son Mario. This is Sonic. Here's his wee cousin, fucking Duke Nukem.
Duke Nukem. I know. It's very often.
He's like, "What's your son's name?" Abe.
Hey, how you doing?
Yo, grab me a Coke.
This is Rapture Farms. I used to work here. Well, I was really a slave.
I know.
Like somebody reading off a bit of paper.
Abe's phenomenal. The critiques I have with this, mate, right? So Cole's character is was call him the zombie, okay? He was from a distant time. He still dresses like a nobleman, right? Doesn't know what a car is, and yet went to the school for Michael Myers learning to drive a car. Same one Michael Myers went to.
Yeah.
How can he drive a car?
Also the same color of car that Michael Myers drove. I think it was a deliberate thing. I think it was a wee thing to make you go, how the fuck can he drive? I genuinely think it is.
It even knew how to get the steering wheel lock off. Remember in the 80s, people used to an anti-theft bar on the steering wheel.
Yeah, you still get them.
I know, but it was more of an 80s thing, right? And
now folk have just got locks on their car doors.
right? The thing is, he unlocked that. He knew what that was. I never saw him being taught how to take that off. Who gave him the key?
Maybe he was an engineer back in his day or something. Maybe he can just figure stuff out. Maybe he broke it off.
No, he didn't, because you can see him taking it off. Like it's literally in the scene.
Did he put a key in it and take it off?
Aye.
Where did he get the key?
Exactly. And then he turns around and batters somebody's melting with
it. Film. I guarantee you the key was in the sun visor.
Right. Terminator.
How did he know to look there? He watched Terminator.
That's right. Well,
Terminator 2. Terminator 2.
Because
I almost think the kind of mistakes like that in this film are maybe deliberate.
That make it better.
Yeah. I mean, we could always ask Big Diablo to come on and verify.
I think she's too busy.
Just so you know, you pronounce it Diablo. Kev's like, I know, I was just saying it for a laugh. But you think that's funny, like.
You're a fucking dragon eye. You're a dragon eye.
I just got a message. Did you get a message? No. It's just me. I'm feeling important.
A message for what?
No, it's just because I've got my Facebook open for clicking on the link to this. Any messenger things that come through going off in my ear. Boarding.
All right.
But it's nothing to do with this. It's just somebody else.
Oh, smashing.
Shout out to Ross Caldwell. Cheers for the message, mate. I'll look at it after this.
Hi. Mental, man. Mental. So I think it makes this film stronger then if it's a deliberate. If that's actually deliberate.
It'd be such a silly oversight because it's something that's been ripped apart, especially in Halloween. Like, how do they know how to drive? Like, it's like, maybe somebody taught him. It's like, shut up, Dr. Loomis, you're talking pish. Nobody took the time out their day to show a serial killer that's never getting out how to drive. You're talking out your hole.
Well, I read the novelization of Halloween, right?
And they've fixed it in post, basically.
And do you know what their reasoning was?
Loomis taught him how to drive.
Nope.
What?
It was the groundskeeper that went to the asylum when he was a kid. He was taught when he was a kid to drive before he became an adult, because the groundskeeper would get him to help put like leaves and all that stuff, and the groundskeeper had a van and would teach Michael how to drive so that he could go next to him and pick up the leaves and chuck them into the van while Michael drive the van along.
That's quite well thought out, to be fair.
It's fairly good, but it's a shame that you have to read a fucking book just to get that.
Aye.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's essentially how they've done it. So at some point in this film, right, when we weren't watching, he was doing a wee bit of the garden because, hey, Janet keeps a tidy ship, as you can tell. And here, by the way, see the bit where he drops a worm in her oatmeal, right? And then she's just like, you slut! It's like, whoa, that was a bit much, right? Because you're
jumping to conclusions about your nice enough wee fucking stepdaughter.
I know. And hey, how good was the casting? I felt like everybody that played every character in this done a phenomenal job with their character.
But I feel like they've played it like it would have been played in the 80s as well.
Yeah. So
I don't think they've. It's like this style of acting is the way it was back then, and I don't think it was bad acting. I think it was a deliberate choice, and I like that as well.
Yeah, it was very much like that. See, Carla Gugino. So she's in a lot of Mike Flanagan stuff.
Yeah.
I really like her in a lot of Flanagan stuff.
Is she not married to Mike Flanagan?
Is it no the other one? I don't know if it's her. I think it's
the other one. I can't abide.
No, it's the other one that looks fairly similar to her.
Right.
It's not her, it's the other one. You get what I mean? What's the other lassie's name? She looks similar to her. Right? And she's in all the Mike Flanagan things, and I'm like, oh, aye. Have you seen Mike Flanagan?
I've never seen it. I don't know what he looks like now.
Let me tell you this right now. Look in my eyes, J-Mac. Look in my eyes right now. There is no fucking way, if Mike Flanagan wasn't Mike Flanagan, they'd be married. Okay? I will tell you that right fucking now. Right?
Now I need to look at him.
Right? Mike Flanagan and his missus, not a chance in the real world. Not a chance. It just does not pair up. If you're playing that game with right, come on, mate. Now look at his wife. Aye, okay.
He looks like a fucking deputy manager at a sports shop.
Right? A sports shop that nobody goes into, but yet it never closes. Kind of shop that's always dead, but it's like, well, how's it no went into business? One of these shops.
He's married to that one.
Yes, the other one. Right? You do not put them together in the real world. How does that happen? Wee bit of influence.
Wee bit of that. Wee bit of fucking that.
I know. Listen to us being fucking horrible men on a show. Eh? We're being horrible right now. Maybe it's love. Maybe it's genuine. Maybe they just work together for so long and they're like, this is love, isn't it? Right? But it just doesn't look like it from your perspective. Headphones have died. Subtitles are not that accurate.
Lock. Neither's your writing.
I'm trying to stay to the end, but I'm just not feeling well and haven't forgot. Janice, me either. I don't know if you can tell my voice. So fucking suck it up. I'm joking. I'm joking. Janice, if you have to go, my man, you do that. Thank you for tuning in anyway. It's like term of endearment. Hope all is well, Jay. What the fuck do you mean hope all is well, Jay? Oh, Janice. I was like, he's fucking fine.
Fine, lad. Rang Jay, boy.
Matthew Man's even sending kisses to Janice. So no, Mike Flanagan's not married to her, but she's really good in a lot of the Mike Flanagan stuff. And I felt that in Lisa Frankenstein, she was fucking excellent as a stepmom.
I mean, she was a bit neurotic and a bit of a cow. Did she deserve it, though?
Aye. Mate, is she not the epitome of every mother-in-law? For the guy's perspective. Mother-in-law? No. She was not. I'm saying every mother-in-law. Like, I know she played the stepmother, right? But did she not act the same way a mother-in-law does to every fucking husband?
My mother-in-law's all right to me.
You're just saying this because we're live?
No. Get your fucking Christian Slater eyebrows away from me,
Are you sure? I heard a term that sums up a great relationship with a mother-in-law and a son-in-law, and it's my tea's as cold as a mother-in-law's embrace.
Where did we hear that? I've heard that as well.
I don't know where you heard it from. I heard it from a podcast, a Jim Cornette podcast.
It wasn't that.
He was like, that's as cold as a mother-in-law's embrace. God damn it. But I thought she was excellent. She played that right wee cow character. And even though she was being nice, you could tell in her eyes she was thinking something different, you know. I thought phenomenal. And Catherine Newton, who plays Lisa, right? I've seen her in quite a few things, actually. She was in Freaky. She's the main chick in Freaky. She's Melanie.
I knew her. See, when I was watching Abigail, I knew I recognised her for something.
She's in Abigail as well, that's right.
Yeah, I knew I recognised her for something when I was watching Abigail. And then, obviously, in this, I was like, oh, that's her for Abigail. I didn't realise it was the same lassie for Freaky. Freaky was really good fun, by the way.
It was Freaky Friday, but with Vince Vaughn.
It's never hear anybody talking about that one either. It
I
must be
know.
fun.
I think it's because we're diluted now with too many films. We don't hear anybody talk about anything nowadays. Janice says, "See, Matthewman, thank you so much. I just have belly issues and they can't figure out what's wrong specifically." J-Mac's your man. If you've got belly issues, J-Mac's your man.
How?
How? I'll tell you how. That's fucking.
Oh man, that almost seemed planned, didn't it? Almost.
But you know it couldn't have been. You know, I just use them, mate. I'm using the tools I was given.
And I am that tool. Excellent.
Janice, drop J-Mac a wee private message afterwards, and he'll sort you out.
It's like, what am I going to say? I'll make sure you record them all and send them.
I won't be able to use them. Yes. I got a funny thing to tell you, but later on. So I thought she was excellent as the character Lisa Frankenstein. If she was around in the 80s, right, she'd be like Gina Davis-esque. That makes sense?
She's a bit too young.
But she fits into that. Like she'd be great cast in Transylvania 65000. Phenomenal film. Matthewman, get that on your list.
Still haven't seen that one either.
Oh, I've got it on DVD. Transylvania 65000.
Why is it 65,000?
I don't know.
And not 65,000.
That's got, well, I know it because he does this in the he's like this. The phone goes and he goes up to the waiter guy and he's like, that's right. He picks the phone up and he goes, "Hello, Transylvania 65000. How may I help you?" It is so cheesy but so fucking brilliant. So good. It's got everybody in it. Frankenstein's monster, fucking werewolves, the whole shebang. It's got what's his name in it?
Jeff Goldblum's in it.
It's got Ed. What's his name? Ed. Him that was in Meet the Applegates, the main guy.
I have no idea.
J-Mac, get up on your film.
Oh, Ed O'Neill.
Ed O'Neill. No, I don't think it is Ed O'Neill. He's in. Ed O'Neill's in. No, it's no. Anyway, we'll get to it. But Transylvania 65000. She'd be phenomenal in that. You know that?
That's Ed Begley Jr.
That's it. Wee Begley. Wee man.
Wee Begley bum blast. What's happening,
He's
man?
not enough. He's not enough these days. But Catherine Newton would fit in a film like that of its time. I felt that she's very, very good. Very good.
Can we also just discuss her striking resemblance to Wee Fee?
I said it to you.
I couldn't get it out of my head when I was watching it.
But same. And the thing is, I don't know if it's just in this film. Because
definitely.
I didn't feel like that.
Definitely
right?
just in this film. It's the hair and the style as the film goes on. Definitely.
80s Fee. But she does. And just the way she is. You know what I mean? Totally.
No, I think Fee's a bit sweeter than her. She's a bit of a mad coo, isn't she?
Well, no, like, they're into the same type of things.
Well, I'm not hanging about with her anymore then, because she's a fucking nutter.
I like how from one moment, right, Lisa Frankenstein, she's very like, yeah, I'm just a wee schoolgirl. An event happens and she's like, nah, again, what? Fuck it, let's just start doing this. And she just snaps. Like, is she a killer? Is she like a serial killer or what?
Yeah, she's definitely got it in her.
Right.
And at the end as well.
I know. There's a lot of parts in the end. It's got it in there. You ever heard the expression, "I wouldn't even fuck her with his"? Well, stay tuned, because this film will essentially give you the opportunity to see what that would be like. See, when I saw that happen, I was like, no.
The shadow was hilarious.
It's like, why does it fly? Right, and the boy instantly dies and all. just instantly dies. Because you're just checking yourself out at that point. Janice Marie Faustop, you're we feeling better soon. The JJ show isn't the same without. That's the Janice show. I need to watch that. You do, Matthew Moon. Both of you send me friend requests, please. Most certainly, Janice. I'll search you up as Janice Marie Faust.
Have we never done that?
I don't know. I don't know. See, to be honest, I don't think I've ever friend requested anybody. Ever. Like, I don't look for folk, ever. I'm not like you. I don't sit on the toilet and creep on folk. You weirdo. I actually don't even go on my phone. Half the time I'm like, oh, it was my mate's birthday yesterday. I'm like, no, oops.
I only found out it was Seb's birthday the other day because you gave him a cake.
Mate, I only found out it was his birthday because I'm standing next to him and Wackett goes, oh, it's your birthday day. And I went, so it is. Ran away to a shop.
Right, Janice, you've got a friend request waiting from me.
I'll find you, Janice. I'll hunt you down and I'll use my unique set of skills. We'll do that.
I have a very particular lack of skills. I don't have money, but I have $2 and a Casio watch. You can have one of them.
Casio watch. I want one. I only have the podcast and Matthewman. Matthewman and Janice have been. They've been
palling it up.
They've been palling it right up. Aye. So, what were your thoughts on this, J-Mac? I'm going to tell you straight up, right? In fact, we'll do what my wife and I done. Did you rate this film already? Just yes or no?
Yeah.
Right. So I'm going to go 3, 2, 1. We're both going to say the number out loud. Okay. I did this with my wife the other day. And we were laughing because we kept getting it right. Okay. Got the same already. 3, 2, 1, 7.
6.7.
You fucking didn't do it at the right time you were supposed to do it.
I did at my end.
Don't know if you know this, right? But sometimes with StreamYard, there's a wee bit of delay. So whenever you say something doesn't quite come through like that.
Okay, I'm going to hold my finger up. Tell me when you see it.
There.
You're full of shite, mate, because that's all in sync.
Again then. 3, 2, 1. No. Aye, in fact, there you go. I'll go 3, 2, 1, and then you hold your finger up.
Go on then.
3, 2, 1. There.
What?
3, 2, 1. There.
Shut up. Right, so the movie... the movie...
This must be really interesting to somebody listening to this.
I can. The movie had a £13 million budget, by the way. In terms of box office performance, it grossed 9.9 million worldwide, with 9.5 million coming from domestic earnings and 153,429 smackaroonies from international markets. The film opened to 3.8 million, finishing second behind the movie Argylle, which was during its release weekend. So, it's no made its money back in its box office run, but that doesn't mean to say it won't domestically.
Say goodbye to your sequels and other films in the same universe.
I'll never find out who killed her ma. No. Justice for her ma.
The killer's sitting in the house going, thank fuck that money. Then they come in. Otherwise they'd find out who I am.
Thing is, there are certain films that done phenomenal on DVD that didn't on box office.
The Thing.
Aye.
The Thing was a flop.
Lost Boys was a flop. An instant flop.
Mm-hmm.
But not enough people were into it when it came out. They didn't know what it was.
Speaking of instant flop, this episode is sponsored by Hymns.
All right. Is that when I get to your age?
You cheeky fuck.
I don't know. Flops. I'm assuming it's something Janice would know about. So this was the direct.
What does that mean?
I don't know. The directorial debut of the film marked a feature-length directorial debut of Zelda Williams, named after a computer game. Written by Diablo, known for her work on Jennifer's Body, which is a fictional universe. The same one as Lisa Frankenstein. So the film's set in the year 1989 and includes themes from gothic horror comedy, And of course, it came out in February, and here we are promoting now the DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K release, which we've mentioned all the way through the show. You can buy the DVD, the Blu-ray, the 4K. You can buy it everywhere that sells digital and physical media.
Yeah, I think this it's got potential still to do well. I think it is a type of film that it would be fun to watch at Halloween. Like, teenagers would have fun with this if they could keep their fucking faces out of their phones for long enough. That's the problem, man. Attention spans. Attention spans, I think, are killing movies.
They are definitely. Janice says cheers. She also says, y'all cracking me up. Thanks for making my day better. Janice, you make our day better. You make our show better, along with Matthew Min and the rest of the gang. Do you know, this has had mixed reviews from critics.
Didn't even mention me, prick.
I'm here and all.
Oh, that was a while ago.
No, I was like, mind that, I fell off my seat. Out of 10, would I like this? You'll think it's all right, Matthew Min. You'll go, it's all right. It was all right. I get it. You'll laugh. Do you know what? You'll enjoy watching it with your kids, though. Your kids will be all right with it. It's quite funny. Your kids will be fine with it. To be fair, like, my daughter Gracie came down when the guy was getting his willy chopped off. And I'm like, I'm trying to watch something. And she's like, what happened there? I'm like, nothing. She's like, what went flying? I'm like, nothing. She's like, why did he come down with an axe? I was like, do you want to watch it for the start? No. I was like, right. So, you know what I mean? But it was intriguing. And the colours are nice. The way that I've laid out this episode is essentially how the film looks and feels. Has that neon glow. And it has... And I just can't fight this feeling anymore. Hey, by the way, did you notice how she wasn't really that good a singer, but she proper went for it?
I love that. I love that. Like, it started off dead sweet. Like, it's actually a really sweet moment, actually. Like, when I was watching it, I didn't laugh, but I smiled because I thought it was really cute. Like, yeah, I thought it was a nice wee moment. And then it's like she's singing all quietly. I can't even remember the words to the song, unfortunately, but...
And I tell myself that I can't hold on forever.
Yeah, and she's kind of singing it with a whisper, and you're waiting for it to build up. And when it does build up, she's just like, "I can't fight this feeling anymore." She can't sing what the fuck.
Well, the subtitle says he got his welly chopped off.
Oh, my shins!
That's great class. That's very class. I think, see, when a film is associated with a good wee soundtrack or a good couple of songs in it that is really good, and I liked this. I liked that it was very. They used the song by REO Speedwagon, which is quite class. But it would have been cool to hear more 80s songs, but I like that they kept going back to that. It was still quite nice, wasn't it?
Do you know what bit I really did laugh out loud at?
What?
When the cop shows up at the grave.
She fucking throws her out. Did she die? Did she die? I don't know.
No. But it's just the way it happens. I thought it was really funny. Just like...
I just like, what the fuck did they do with this? I love that he was so devoted to Lisa. Like, even though like they're a couple essentially, you can see he's like a puppy, a lost puppy. She runs the show. Yeah. And she blames him for everything.
Aye. It's like, take some responsibility, women.
I know. Typical. Usual, man. Usual. So it has an IMDb
it's like
rating.
If my wife crashed my car, right? If I was in the passenger seat and she was driving, if she crashed my car, she'll go, "That's your fault." It's like, how? Because it's your car. Like, so what's happened here is you've just fucked my car and blame me for it. Brilliant.
Sounds of it right. I think everybody should watch this. Buy it if you're into that type of stuff. I'm into that type of stuff.
Aye, it's pretty good fun and pretty nostalgic. Funny at bits. Like, I mean, it's billed as a horror comedy. I don't think it's overloaded with comedy, and a lot of the comedy is actually pretty subtle. It's like wee moments, like when he does the Michael Myers sit up inside the sunbed and just duked his head off the top of it. Like, it was silly wee bits like that really made me chuckle, and some pretty funny lines. But Definitely watch it. It's worth. I mean, what is it? It's over an hour and a half. Just over an hour and a half.
What's happened to your voice?
Clogged up there.
Sound like the fucking bad guy for The Mask.
Does it sound like my tape recorder's running out of battery?
Yeah, I've seen one of them at the market.
Oh, Jesus.
That's quite
So
funny.
I had a bit of clock.
I so much quick.
Hey, you like pink champagne?
Candy cane.
You know something, Black Sheep? You really ought to get that fixed.
Get what fixed?
Your
Tail
tail
light.
light.
A great film, by the way.
I know. Never gets talked about.
Never gets talked. Never gets talked about.
Nobody's ever talking about that, man. It's Steve Zahn. Here, Steve Zahn's class, I know, by the way.
It's like, just tell him, hey, guess what? I'm a dude. That's the first film I ever seen Steve Zahn in, and ever since then I've been in love with the guy. I think he's hilarious. I think he's brilliant. He's done some shit films, but I was watching War for the Planet of the Apes yesterday, and I remember he played one of the apes in it. The little one talks like this. I saw human zoo, and then he's just say his catchphrase in it is just to go no. The big orangutan thing tells him to do something. He's like no, and it's like and he's like okay.
Steve Zahn's good. I like Steve Zahn.
I like him. He's not even in this film.
I know.
That's what we call a tangent.
Yes. But I say everybody go and watch this. It was class. Very lucky to have been given it by Medium Rare Entertainment. Beautiful wee guys. Sent us a few things a few times before. Coming up on the show, by the way, I cannot wait. We've got an interview coming with Quarks. We've got an interview coming up with Quarks, who is an artist and filmmaker. He's a painter. He's a poet. He's created a film called Pandemonium, and I can't get enough of it, mate. It was fucking superb. It's all in Italian, but if you just read the subtitles, it doesn't matter.
French, by the way, just so you know.
Yeah, he's French. He's coming on the show soon, but I think it'll be a pre-record. Stand by. It might be a live one, but I think if it's a pre-record, we'll put the floor open to you guys for putting in your comments, and we will ask Quarks them. We also have another couple of good stuff coming up. We've got a film coming up to review called Night Siren. That's all in Italian, I know, but we'll watch. No, it's actually Slovakian.
Is it?
It's Slovakian. Imagine we had Michaela on to talk about that.
This will be our first Slovak film. Yeah,
exactly.
Interesting.
Right. So we've got that, and obviously we're going to do the Gremlins deep dive at some point soon. But we should most definitely do a wee Young Frankenstein. With some good episodes coming up, and then there's a ton more films that I'm in conversation right now to get, which are films that I'm like, oh, I'm glad we got. I literally was looking at a film the other day. I can't mention the name of it right now. I was looking at a film going, oh, I really want to see that. And then for a night, I got an email saying, you want this? I was like, oh, aye, any chance we can get a wee interview or not? So we'll see what's happening. But
hey, send me a message, tell me what it is.
Send it fucking emails, but I'll send it to you.
I don't see all the emails. Remember, if you open it first, I don't see it. If I open it first, you don't see it. So
I know, which doesn't help when I'm fucking waiting to respond to something. I'm like, it's been 5 days and they've not got back to me. I went back, I was like, oh, they messaged 4 days ago. Every time, man, every time.
Hey, if I get anything important, I'll let you know, right?
Just hold your finger in and it should tip it back to unread, and that way I'll still see it.
Right, I'll start doing that then.
That's why we were supposed to have Schwarzenegger on, but I never got back to his email for about 3 months because you opened it, and that fucked it for us all. So
I like to think if I had opened it, I might have mentioned that he said I to come in.
Well, I said aye as long as you respond the next couple of bits, and I was like, just didn't know. So here we are. Shite, eh?
Shite.
I know that is shite, man. But next time, all right.
Right, on that fucking note.
So, thank you very much for tuning in of our Lisa Frankenstein. I really liked it. I think everybody should watch it. J-Mac, you too. It was a fun watch. Don't get away any spoilers. She dies at the end. But she doesn't really, so it's not really a spoiler because she doesn't die. Does she? Or does she?
Bruce Willis is a ghost.
Right. But is it though? Or was that your interpretation of that film?
That's everybody's, because that's what it is.
Is it though?
Aye.
We're here to ponder the non-pondered. Matthew says, amazing movie, one of childhood favourites. I always loved the bad Gremlins more than Gizmo, though. Because he was in fucking Sixth Sense. Gizmo was in the Sixth Sense. Or was it?
That's enough of that.
I know. I mean, everybody's on the whiskey tonight. I'm no. I had a hot chocolate, but I am beyond burst, which is why I can't figure the. What was that word I was before I finish? The word I was trying to use to describe Cole was an affectionate. He's got an affection about him. That was it.
All right.
Oh, okay. That's such a good way to describe it. He's quite affectionate. There's an affection about his presence.
I still don't think you've got it right.
No, but that's what I was meaning to say, though. Whether it's right or not, but that's what I meant to say. He was
so all that time you spent trying to figure out what it was you wanted to say, and it was wrong. That's class.
No, it's not wrong. No, there's an affection about his persona. Like you get an affectionate feeling from him, even when he's not doing anything. If you don't, then you're not watching it properly.
Emotive.
No. I'm saying he's affectionate. No, I'm saying he's affectionate.
Right.
You get that from his personality. Right. You get that the vibe he's giving off is very affectionate.
Right, cool.
I wasn't even fucking rang, was I?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Get her in you!
It has officially ruined me.
Look at it, all the way right round. Class. It's officially ruined me.
Motherfucker has to use a boomerang to put a belt on. Right.
Class. Right, fellas and fellies. Fellas and fellies.
Fellies and fellas. Let's go with that.
Enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. Thank
What's
you.
the matter, Harry? Some little filly break your heart? No, it was a girl. Good night, folks.
Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thanks for tuning in with us tonight. We'll see you next Sunday. Probably before, actually, because we've got a lot of stuff coming up. But stay tuned. Share this with your pals and all that stuff if you like it. If you don't, then don't. It's all right. But we, nonetheless, will see you on the flip side. See you next Sunday, lads. Take it easy. Goodbye.
Enough. I hope you're enjoying yourself. Bye, everybody.